Okay, life has its way of getting in the way sometimes. We haven't made a whole lot of progress on this car in the last, effectively the last month. Nothing that's measurable as far as you can tell. However, that doesn't mean things haven't been happening. What has been happening is that those of us who know us know that we developed some of the best headers on the market. And we just got the headers for this done. We had them done in traditional 1960s Formula One white. I can't wait to get these in because as they get warmed in, it's cycled and over, they start to change colors a little bit, but effectively they still hold that white look. And quite honestly, I really like how that's going to look in this setup. Now, and again, just because you haven't seen us do much lately doesn't mean stuff hasn't been happening. The other thing that's been happening while we were gone is I finished restoring the TI super gauges that I plan on using. What I end up doing with these is, as you can tell in the photos that we posted, is completely dismantled them. A good friend of ours down in Australia was able to get us some new lenses. That's where it says Speedo on the tack. And then we airbrushed the needles and we cleaned all the gearing and whatnot, so these are ready to go again. We didn't send the bezelings out to get chromed or anything like that because I'm not trying to make this car over the top and just making it functional. But nonetheless, I think it's pretty impressive looking. The other thing we were able to finalize is here's the color combination we're doing. These are called letdown panels. We like to spray these before we spray cars, and granted we are way ahead of the game right now because this car is nowhere near ready to get sprayed, but we need to have our color layout done early. So the nose is going to be traditional Abarth white, and then this is going back to the correct blue that it was. So the nose will be white and the rest of the body will be the traditional blue. Now we found that to be fairly important that the white we selected made sense, because if it was too white, then the blue would become muted. More importantly, it wouldn't look good with the interior we're going with. And I'll show you what that looks like next. Alright, here is our Super TI Tribute or TI Super Tribute seat that we're making. Our own framing, and we are currently shaping in the seat now with foam. It is important that we make these seats not all so much period correct looking because they're far from it, but they need to be comfortable as well. And I can't emphasize that enough, because effectively if you have a seat that's more or less meant for racing or short period driving like the TI Super seats were, you're not going to spend a whole lot of time in that car. You're just not. So anyway, what we did is we got some nice raw bomber seat framings, and wait till you see what we're doing here. You're going to like it. And then we started creating our own high density foam with a little bit of lumbar support. These seats turned out to be really comfortable. Wait till you see how these turn out. But for now, I'm liking what we see. We're softening the lines a little bit so it's a little more period correct. It would have been simpler to just go to angular here and here, but effectively if you did that, then you're not picking up on any of the styling cues that are a part of the Giulia Super concept. If you think about it, with the scallops on the going down the side of the car and on the roof and on the trunk lid, there are cues you can pick up from and reinstitute those elsewhere. That's exactly what we're doing. That's why you see some of this shaping here and here. It's to just kind of pay homage, if you will, to the original designer's feel. One of the biggest holdups we've had on this motor was getting the head off. This happens from time to time. We've had motors that, for whatever reason, they either overheated or something has happened along the lines and the head studs get twisted. In this particular case, that's exactly what happened with one head stud. We literally were lifting up the entire damn car over one stud. So, when all else fails, and you've tried everything you could to get the head off, you end up having to cut the stud. Is that the end of the world? By no means, no. So, what's going to happen is I'm pulling the motor and transmission out today. We are going to a hydraulic clutch setup on the TI Super. We're going away from the mechanical clutch system for a multitude of reasons. But for now, the only thing you need to know is this motor's about to come out. But we're going to have to change that head stud out as well. And the thing of it is this motor was relatively freshly rebuilt. So a lot of things can happen in a short amount of miles. Okay, so we're in the process of disassembling the motor from the transmission on Quasi Ti. And a couple of things that are a little bit alarming is none of the hardware on this side was really here. You know, you gotta wonder what happens sometimes, right? And there you go. Okay, so it's Saturday, kind of winding down as far as I'm going to be able to go with this today. You're probably wondering why we put the motor inside the engine, or the block washer, complete instead of torn down. Well, next week we're going to see some pretty high-tech technology around here. We have a new piece of equipment called vapor honing coming. And essentially we're going to be able to restore all this aluminum to the original factory casting look without damaging it. Anyway, so you got to clean the parts before you put them in there. So, I'll tear this motor down next week. And then all these parts will go into the vapor honer. It's currently being shipped to us from North Carolina. And it is a phenomenal piece of equipment. We can't wait for it to get here. So for now, generally clean motor. I don't get the impression it's terribly abused. So I'm going to put it on the engine stand and you know, that'll be it for the day.